Okay, so one of my favorite quick and easy meals is stuffed peppers. So I just cut these open and I'm about to put them in the oven to cook. I just put a little bit of olive oil on here. I usually cut mine in half and then lay them down and stuff them, but these are kind of shaped funny. You see how weirdly these are shaped? So I decided to go ahead with the whole peppers, and then plus I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for a friend who has not had surgery, so you know she'll be able to eat more anyway. So okay, so these are going right into the oven. Okay, so if you've watched very many of my meal prep videos, I'm always putting things in the freezer when I don't use all the ingredients. So this is some leftover rice broccoli that I had put in the freezer, and so now I'm going to use this to put into my peppers. So right now I'm just drying it out because it was frozen, so it was a little soggy. So I'm going to cook this for a few minutes in the pan to get rid of all the liquid. And I had thawed this out last night. I put it in the refrigerator so it would be all thawed out, but I didn't really need to do that. Okay, so I'm going to cook this for a few minutes, and then I'm going to add in, so I always chop up the tops of my peppers, and then I use those to stuff the pepper too. Okay, so now I just added in the peppers, and I added in some onions, and then this is the rice broccoli. So this is all done. I'm going to take this out of the skillet, and now I'm going to put my ground beef in here. So you can use ground beef or you can use turkey. Okay, so here's my ground beef. I just put in some salt and some pepper and a little bit of cayenne just so it's not boring. And so now this is nice and cooked. I'm doing this with one hand. Now I'm going to put my mixture in here. I like how fast and easy this goes together. So now I'm going to pour in some tomato sauce. So I'm going to pour it in slowly. I don't want it to be too tomatoey, so I'm going to pour it in and see how it looks and use my own judgment. And then I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in here. I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to mix all this up together and come back to you in a moment. Okay, so I had enough to fill everything up, and I did end up using the whole jar of sauce. And yeah, now these are going to go into the oven. I mean, everything is already cooked, so I'm probably only going to put it in the oven about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to put some cheese on top and put it back in the oven again. So the peppers are in the oven. Now I just washed my skillet, and now I just bought this shrimp from Trader Joe's. I've never tried it before, but look how beautiful they look. So I'm just going to saute these in the skillet, and this is going to be for my friend to have for her salads every day. So she'll put cold shrimp on her salads. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so this shrimp looks beautiful. I used some of this chili lime seasoning blend, which I've never tried before, so I hope that it is good, since once again I can't taste any of this. Okay, so this is the finished product, and these actually freeze really well. If I was making these for myself, I would put half of them in the freezer, and they do taste really good later. Okay, so meal prepping does not have to be hard, and you barely even have to cook if you don't want to. So this is some Trader Joe's Shitake mushroom chicken, which I've never tried before, but I have tried their rice cauliflower stir fry. It is fantastic. So I am just going to cook both of these up. I just washed out my same skillet, and I can't remember because it's been 18 hours since I've eaten, and so I'm not thinking clearly. Did I say why I was doing this? I'm cooking a week of meals for my friend and her boyfriend. So I'm going to cook half the food today, and then in a few days I'll cook the other half. So this is just going to be another option for them to have for dinner. So I'll show you the finished product when I'm all done. Okay, so you actually have to defrost everything in the microwave first. So this is the chicken. These are the vegetables, and it's pretty skimpy on the mushrooms, I think. And then this is the sauce. I like it when the sauce is separate because I never use the whole thing. And you know what? It just so happens that when I was at Trader Joe's, I picked up some mushrooms. So I think I'm going to add some additional mushrooms to this. And then there's the stir fry. It's all done there. So first I think I'm going to cook up these mushrooms. So look how delicious this looks because I added that entire bag of mushrooms. So this is, you can't even see the chicken in here. This is a mostly vegetarian dish on top of vegetables. So it's vegetables and mushrooms on top of vegetables. And I didn't use the whole package of sauce. I used about 75% of the package. Even though this is not for me, I still want to keep my friends' carbs low. Although this is not a very high carb product, or else I wouldn't have even chosen it. These are the stats. You can see it's 9 carbs and it's 4 servings. And I don't know how many servings this is going to be for them, especially now that I put all these mushrooms in here. But this will probably be about 3 servings, I think. I don't know. Okay, so for lunch every day, I'm going to have my friend make her own salads, but I'm making it easy for her. She loves beets, and so I found these at Trader Joe's. They were whole beets, and so I already chopped them up for her. I did leave it kind of big. I don't know what size they should be because I don't like beets. And then this goat cheese, I went ahead and I crumbled it up for her just to try to make it as easy as possible. So for several days she's going to have that cold shrimp with the beets and the goat cheese on a salad. Okay, so for a couple of days she's going to have that shrimp with the goat cheese and the beets, and then I forgot I also got these pecans for her to add to that salad. Then for several days she's just going to have chicken. So this is pre-cooked chicken breasts, and I just chopped up a cucumber and a couple of tomatoes. I hope she likes skin on her cucumber because I just leave it on there. And then a selection of dressings. I've heard people say that this is a good one, avocado ranch. I love this balsamic, raspberry balsamic. I think this might be good with her shrimp. And then I've recently heard people say good things about this dressing. And all of these are low in carbs. See that? 2 carbs. And I think this one only has 2 carbs. This one has 3 carbs, 35 calories. So yeah, so she's gonna have this. I'm very boring with my salads, and so I actually don't know what people like to put on their salads. So I don't know, I'm probably leaving out a whole bunch of interesting things. Oh, I do have some sunflower seeds. So I found these pumpkin seeds. I forgot I had these. I haven't opened them yet, so I'm going to give these to her also to put on her salad. Okay, so I'm still doing meal prep for my friends. This is the second part of the week. So a long time ago, I won these in a giveaway from Foodie Turned Sleevey. The stats are awesome, and I just haven't had a chance to make them yet. So it's very simple. You just need vanilla, an egg, coconut oil or butter, and I have coconut oil. And I don't have parchment paper, so I'm going to use foil. I know they said that foil maybe makes the cookies be darker, so I don't know. We'll see how this all comes out. I will show you the finished product. Okay, since the oven's already hot, I'm going to cook the other mix. So this was the other mix that I won, the blondies. Here are the stats. It's another really easy recipe. And I'm going to put it in this. So we will see what happens. I greased it really well, or they're probably going to stick, but maybe if I let them cool all day in the refrigerator, everything will be okay. Okay, so this is the finished product. It was so hard for me to get these blondies out of that container. I broke a couple of them that they totally crumbled, and I saved those for myself. These are the cookies that probably are a little bit more done, burn on the ends, but the cookie is still pretty. You can tell it's going to be kind of a chewy cookie. But since I'm fasting today, I won't be able to try these till tomorrow, but I'm going to wrap up some of these blondies and some of these cookies just for myself. Okay, so I'm meal prepping again for my friend and her boyfriend. So this time I'm doing barbecue chicken. So I got this recipe from the Pioneer Woman. So this is their chicken, and then I'm gonna, since I'm doing all this work, I'm gonna do some for myself too at the same time. So first you put these in the oven, skin side down, for 25 minutes. Okay, so while that chicken is in the oven, I'm gonna start the next quick and easy recipe. This is one of my favorite quick things to do. So I'm going to saute up this ground beef, add the pasta sauce, add some mushrooms, and put it on top of these zucchini spirals. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So first I'm going to saute some onions and, well, yeah, I think I'll saute the onions and garlic first with the mushrooms, so that's all done. So actually first I decided to go ahead and just cook the zucchini. So I'm just cooking it till it's kind of soft. I just put a little bit of olive oil in there, and I think this is about done now. I'm going to take this out and then now cook my mushrooms and onions. Okay, so I sauteed up the onions and some garlic and the mushrooms in this skillet, and then I just took it out, and in the same skillet now I am doing my beef. I just put some salt and pepper on there, and we're going to cook this until it's done. Okay, so I put 1 jar of sauce in here, and then I added my mushrooms, onions, and garlic back, and now I'm going to let this simmer. The thing is that I just realized, this is the zucchini. It really cooked down really low. And so now this, I don't know, it doesn't seem as hearty as I thought it was going to be. I'm thinking about baking it in the oven with some cheese. And speaking of the oven, my chicken has 1 more minute to go. So you see, I put the chicken in for 25 minutes. So this all is just really fast. Okay, so I took the chicken out of the oven. So what I have to do first is put barbecue sauce on this side and then flip the chicken over and put them in the oven. So I got 2 different barbecue sauces. So I haven't had this in years, but I grew up on open pit and I think that I really liked it. So this is going to be for my friend's chicken. I looked at the carbs. I also liked that it's relatively low in carbs compared to the other sauces that I looked at. But then for me, I got this. Now the thing is that I've tried a couple of their organic barbecue sauces and I've always been disappointed. So that's why I didn't get this for my friend, just in case. But I do like the carb count is 7. And the thing is that since I'm fasting today, I can't even taste it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the open pit on their chicken. Okay, so I did the other pan and now I just did my pan. The reason that you start with the skin down is so that the skin can get crispy, but then the problem is that I lost a lot of the skin as it stuck to the foil, so we'll see how this comes out. So now this goes back in the oven for like 7 minutes. Chicken's back in the oven. This is the finished dish. I probably needed 2 packages of the zucchini because there's not very much in here, but you know, it looked like it was going to be enough. So now I think what I'm going to do is I am going to sprinkle some cheese on top of this, and then I'm going to bake it in the oven once the chicken is done. Okay, so this is the finished product. Basically, you keep putting the chicken in for 7 minutes, taking it out, putting sauce on it, putting it in for 7 minutes, taking it out, and you do that 3 times. Since these breasts are smaller, thighs are smaller, they're already done, so I've already taken them out. But my friends, the other ones that I'm cooking, are still cooking because they're not quite done yet. But that looks so good. I don't know, I might have to break my fast. Okay, so here is my friend's chicken, and here's my chicken. And now I'm gonna rest for a little bit before I start working on the sides. So this is the finished product. It's like a casserole. This smells so good. They're gonna love this. And I know from experience that things like this reheat well if they want to put some of this in the freezer. Okay, so the first side dish I'm going to cook is this Trader Joe's mashed cauliflower. I've never tried this before. I usually make my own cauliflower, but I decided to give this a try, and my friend is going to be the guinea pig. So you can cook it on the stove or the microwave, so I am going to cook this on the stove. Okay, so while the cauliflower is on the stove, I am going to make coleslaw. So the only Walden Farms product I like is their coleslaw mix. So I'm just going to mix that with this coleslaw and then I'm done. Wow. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see this. I'm not impressed with how soupy it kind of is, and it's not smooth and creamy looking. So when I make cauliflower, mashed cauliflower, I put in Laughing Cow cheese. So I'm going to put a square or 2 of this in here, and then I'm also going to put some Parmesan cheese in, and then I might use my emulsion blender to blend it up more, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so now that I used my blender, you can see that now it looks better, more like mashed potatoes. I probably won't buy this again, because if I have to add all this stuff myself and do this work, then I might as well just do it myself. Start from the beginning with my own cauliflower. I think I kind of made too much coleslaw, but well, they can have this for days. And then here are the potatoes. So in the end, I think it came out pretty well. So yeah, they're gonna have this with the chicken. So after all that cooking yesterday, I didn't eat anything, but now I'm about to break my fast. I've been fasting, I think it's almost 40 hours, and I'm finally going to try one of these blondies for breakfast.